Hello, everybody. This was a Wednesday, and it was one of those days. And I wanted to share with you how I fit in food day when life is busy. So I have a little bit of time before I have to leave to get my son. And one of the things I like to do is look through the fridge, see what produce there is, and what needs to be used up from my groceries that I got on the weekend. So I saw that I had a pineapple and I just got it all cut up and I'm going to put it into one of my Rubbermaid Freshworks containers. I have had these for years. I love them. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but I do find that my produce lasts longer in them. And that was really the only thing I had to take care of. And the other thing I had was the Aussie Bites from when we went to Costco on the weekend. And I'm just going to freeze them in 2 containers. They freeze great. These were on sale, and these are those items that I like to have in the freezer. Say I can't get to the grocery store or I'm trying to buy as little as possible. I can pull them out, and they're great for breakfast. They're great for a little afternoon snack. You can pair them with some fruit or some yogurt, and they're really nice to have in the freezer. So I wanted to break them down into smaller containers. So I'm going to put them in the freezer a little bit later because I want to make sure that I add them to my freezer inventory. And then the other thing I'm going to do is just make sure everything is good for dinner. I have been getting HelloFresh the last little while, but this is probably going to be the last week I get it for a bit. And I just want to make sure that everything is there for dinner. I had a fiasco last week, and this is like chicken sandwiches, and I have to pick out my meals the week before, so sometimes it doesn't always go as planned, or whenever you pick out the recipes, like you're more in a mood to cook and everything. But I just wanted to see what I could do to help myself, and I saw the potatoes, so I just wanted to go ahead and get them in some water so it would be easier to clean them. So anyways, that's really all that I can do. I took care of a few little things, and now I have to get going. I changed into comfy clothes and I'm gonna start making dinner. I really do not feel like making dinner tonight, but I'm very thankful that I can work with these ingredients. I'm not gonna do the recipe exactly the way it's supposed to be, but the one thing I do like is these smaller potatoes, and I do try and keep these in the fridge, and they are just so easy. You don't have to peel them. They just cut up really quick and easy, and they are great in the air fryer. And even if there's leftovers, they're great to have for breakfast or even to have for lunch the next day. So I am just cutting them up into smaller little pieces. Hubby is going to be barbecuing tonight, so he's patiently waiting for that. And then I'm just going to take the seasoning packet that came. It's like an Applewood smoked barbecue or something. So just a little bit of olive oil on here, and then I'm just going to put the seasoning. And that's why I find it's always really nice to have different spice blends. You can get a variety at Costco, or you can pick up one that you use all the time. You can use it for meat, you can use it for potatoes. I just find it's one of those staples that I like to have. I'm also going to add a little bit of pepper, and the same with the chicken. We really like skinless, boneless chicken thighs. I find they're flavorful and they cook up a lot easier than the chicken breast. So once again, I'm just doing a little bit of oil and then adding in the seasoning pack again. So we are going to have burgers tonight, and I'm just going to try and do a little bit of prepping while my husband is barbecuing. And I think part of what I'm doing for dinner tonight is something I need to think about a little bit is what can I pull out on those days that I know is going to be really, really busy, and how can I make it work for everybody in our family. So if you're new, like our son has sensory issues. There's certain foods that he likes and there's certain foods that he does not like. So I'm going to try and work with everything that we have and come up with a dinner for everybody. And this is why I like to have things organized and ready to go in the fridge. So Andrew's going to have some grapes. Steve and I are going to have some of that broccoli salad, and then I have the iceberg lettuce out, and then all I'm really doing is just waiting for my husband to bring the chicken in. So the chicken has been brought in, he toasted the buns, and then this was like a chipotle ranch sauce or something, and I'm just putting it on the buns, and I don't even have to cut up the chicken thighs. I'm just going to put 2 chicken thighs on each burger, and then for our son I just cut it in half. It's a little bit easier for him to eat, and that's all I'm going to do. I just find this is such a quick, easy dinner, and that's one of the things I do love about summer is barbecuing, because my husband can take that over and it's just quick and easy, and while he's barbecuing I'm just getting everything ready. And this was such a quick, easy dinner to assemble, and that's one of the things like I try and do whenever I pick out my HelloFresh meal, is to have meals that I can kind of make it work. Like these ones have those little pickles that come in with it, those little packages, and they're really kind of expensive. So I just broke them up, and then Steve and I had them kind of as a side. And then here's the potatoes. There's lots for us for dinner, and there'll be lots for leftovers. And they're just a little bit different because they had a seasoning pack. So they have a little bit more flavor, just a little bit of oil, and they're the right texture that everybody likes. And it was just quick and easy to throw them in the air fryer. I really didn't have to do a lot for it. And it honestly is a pretty quick, easy cleanup too. So I'm just going to do a little bit of ranch for mine, and then Steve and Andrew are going to have ketchup with theirs. I know I get the comments a lot about how organized I am, and honestly, the more you do it, it just gets easier and easier, especially having containers that work really well. And these are other ones. They're just the Walmart ones. I like them. They're glass. They have the lids that you kind of like have to snap on. So I just have a couple of sizes. So the smaller one, I'm going to put chicken in it. Andrew's actually going to have that for dinner the next night. And then there's also lots of potatoes for his dinner the next night too. And there'll be lots to even enjoy on the weekend, probably to go along for breakfast. So anyways, the boys are supervising. So I got the carrots all cleaned up and ready to go. And these are also some little containers that I got from Amazon, and I really like them. So what I'm doing is I'm just prepping lunches for my husband and I for Thursday and Friday. So a few weeks ago, I got like adult Lunchables, like they're like salami and cheese and different kinds of crackers. And we're going to have those for lunch. And then I'm just taking fruit and veggies and just kind of making up like a little produce container to help. And this is what I like to do. I like to be able to prep things for a couple of days at a time. Hunter is making sure that I slice this cucumber up properly. There's Linus too. They do like cucumbers too. So I'm just going to take this one English cucumber and divide it up between the 4 containers. And then I have a little bit of ranch that I'm going to squeeze into one of the containers. And for my husband, I'm going to put in grapes. And then for myself, I'm going to put in pineapple. And I don't know, I just find like taking the time to do a little bit each day. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's a little bit longer. I just find it makes it a lot easier, and it helps us to stay on track with our meals. I actually find it helps to save money too, instead of grabbing something quick through the drive-through. You know, I'm trying to eat better, and I find doing these little things really help me. So even if it's a really, really busy day, I know that I have lunch, I know that I have something prepped, or I also have something in the freezer that I can pull out for a quick, easy lunch for myself. And just using these Rubbermaid Freshworks containers, taking a little bit of time to prep my produce. When you stay on top of it and do a little bit each day, or say you get your groceries one day, you know, prep the certain produce that's going to get eaten right away or doesn't take as long. And then like what I did for the pineapple, I just kept it in the fridge. It was fine. And then I cut it up a few days later whenever it fit more into my schedule. So anyways, these are all good and ready to go. I got these from Amazon. I'll try and link them down below. I am really happy with them. I do like the quality. I like the way that the lids snap on. And then I also do like the different colors. So I can kind of pick and choose, you know, which colors work for everybody. So anyways, the boys are going to finish up the carrots. And then all I do is I just kind of take a look at my organized fridge. It really doesn't take any time at all. I know where everything is supposed to go. So I'm just kind of checking to see what my inventory is. So the cantaloupe's there. It needs to go into a smaller container. There's pumpkin for the boys. There's the leftovers. That's our dinner for tomorrow night. And then here is those Lunchables that we're going to use. So, you know, whenever I started, you know, trying to be more aware of what I'm eating and everything, I picked up more stuff than what I needed to. And now that I'm getting into a better routine and mostly more organized, it gets easier and easier. So what I like to do on Friday nights is write down what I need, and then, you know, what is dinner gonna look like for the next couple of nights. So Friday night, we're gonna make naan pizzas. So I know I need to get some salad kits, some veggies to go along with it. So I just kind of write down what I need. This is what I have. I have potatoes, fries, hash browns in the freezer. And then I just kind of write down like Walmart, No Frills, and Food Basics. Those are kind of the 3 stores that I kind of look at. And then I'm doing a Walmart pickup order this week. So I'm just trying to figure out like what is the best way to stretch the dollar. I also like when produce is on sale because I find it comes in and it sells quickly. like if you're buying something that hasn't been on sale, I find it's been sitting there longer because more people are shopping the sales. So sometimes you get something that's not on sale and it's not always the greatest quality. And that's why I like to shop the produce sales, because it's being brought in specifically for that sale. So anyways, this is all I did on the Wednesday. It's gonna help me, and hopefully this little video helped you get a little bit more organized.